next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And here now it's 2nd and goal. Ball on the 7-yard line. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas rolls. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
On 2nd down, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. They find some open field here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. Wilson a give to Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
19. Slam. Hey, Jim. Let's go.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Wilson going to give to Rawls. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blowers guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now a toss. This is Rawls. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. On 2nd down, Rawls. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We talk all the time about...
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Escaping the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bobby Wagner able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And Charles driving over to this one. Some intrigue around a few quarterback battles going on right now in the league, isn't there?
Cleveland, they settled in early August. San Francisco, Denver, those continue to rage. But how about the Rams returning to L.A. and bringing a quarterback battle with them?
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cam Chancellor, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's John Ryan now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Cliff Averill able to drop him for a loss of 4. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Third down. Here's Rawls. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coach is back in high school in Flint, Michigan. You know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it second and short.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Throwing is Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 23 yards on the play. And now a first down following that long gain.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping